Welcome into the Fired Up Weekly Recap, where we cover all things Carthage athletics. I'm Justin Corrigan, and today's episode is for Monday, November 17th. Crossover season is officially in full swing, with the fall seasons coming to a close and the winter seasons getting underway. Let's start seeing things out with the fall seasons. Let's start things off with women's volleyball. The All-CCIW awards were announced early last week, and the Firebirds were highlighted by Jenna Damon, who was not only named first team All-CCIW, but also CCIW Defensive Student Athlete of the Year. For those awards and her performances that will be mentioned later, Jenna Damon is our Jersey Mike Subs Firebird of the Week. Jersey Mike Subs located at 3625 Market Lane in Kenosha. Visit them today or go to jerseymikes.com. Also recognized Kristina Manojlovic, first team All-CCIW, and Ava Detweiler earned second team All-CCIW. Moving into the games played this week, it was the CCIW semifinals in Tarbell Arena on Thursday, where the Firebirds took a 3-0 sweep over Milliken, 25-23, an impressive 25-11, and 25-20. On the day, Kristina Manojlovic, 12 kills, Damon, 4 aces and 11 digs, Wierzak, 4 blocks, and Ava Detweiler, 20 assists. Then on Saturday, it was the CCIW championship game in Bloomington, Illinois, against number 4 Illinois Wesleyan. That was a 3-0 loss for the Firebirds, 25-20, 25-23, 25-18. Look at the box score. Manojlovic, 10 kills. Damon, 4 aces, 10 digs. Katie Boston, 6 blocks. Haley Wierzak, 6 blocks. And Ava Detweiler, 13 assists. On the day as well, the Firebirds had 3 student athletes recognized for the CCW Elite 26 Award, recognizing student athletes with the highest GPA in a championship match. Those 3 were Jenna Damon, Ava McTeague, and Kyla McTeague. That brings us to our Pullman Auto Store Saturday. Pullman Auto Stores located in Kenosha and Racine. Visit one of their stores today or go to pullmanauto.com. This is the 5th year of the CCW Elite 26 Award, and it is the 3rd time in those 5 years that Carthage Women's Volleyball has seen a student athlete or multiple student athletes recognized, and it was the 2nd time Damon was recognized for the award. Moving over to football, it was senior day at Art Keller Field on Saturday against Carroll in the battle for the Old Musket. It was a 7-3 victory for the Firebirds over the Pioneers. Scoring breakdown is going to be real quick. Second quarter, Carthage gets on the board with a touchdown from Easton Hefner, 6-yard pass to Jackson Westmoreland, taking the lead on an extra point from Mugden Creo. Then in the fourth quarter, the Pioneers found the scoreboard with a Matthew Swink 29-yard field goal, and that's all the scoring on the board for the game. A look at the stats. Easton Hefner, 13 for 19, 86 yards, a touchdown. He was sacked 5 times. Mark Hunter led the rushing way, 16 carries for 85 yards. Jackson Westmoreland, 6 receptions for 55 yards and a touchdown. Defensively, Ramon Campos, 7 tackles. Michael Sneed, 7 tackles. Mariano Talamantes, 5 tackles and an interception. And Jeremy Rowlett recovered a fumble. Special teams, Matt Jibb, 6 punts, 5 of which went inside the 20-yard line. Jibb is our Jersey Mike's Firebird of the Week. Once again, located at 3625 Market Lane in Kenosha. Visit them today or go to jerseymikes.com. Men's cross country continued their postseason push at the NCAA North Regionals. They took 14th in a field of 31 teams. Jacob Kuralewski leading the way, 5th place overall in a time of 24:35.3, earning all region honors and punching his ticket to the NCAA Championships. He will return for the 2nd straight year after the team qualified in 2024. Rest of the scoring 5 for the Firebirds: Harlan Matson, 26-26, Luke Davey, 26-47, Connor Wood, 27-04, and Luke Adair, 27-06. Kuralewski will return to action next Saturday in South Carolina at the NCAA Division III Cross Country Championships. Moving over to women's cross country, it was also the North Regionals for the NCAA. The team took 21st out of a 30-team field. Kylie Florence led the way in 67th place, 23:57.9 on the clock when she crossed the finish line. Rest of the scoring 5, Jesse Pekaski, 24-21, Nia Litwiller, 25-17, Allison Hunt, 25-19, and Cameron Lau, 25-23. Firebirds cross-country season is over for the women, but they will return in a few weeks for indoor track as the Firebirds host the Forever Red Alumni Classic on December 6th in the Tarbell Athletic and Recreation Center. Women's basketball kept the season going. On Wednesday, it was a 57-49 loss on the road at MSOE in Milwaukee. Malia Green leading the Firebirds with 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. Firebirds then opened the home slate on Saturday as they hosted the Edgewood Eagles in Tarbell Arena. It was an 88-48 victory for the Firebirds. Green once again leading the way, 21 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Alyssa Orozco, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. And Nora Ram, 11 points, a rebound, and 5 assists. Firebirds hit the road again this weekend as they travel to Hope for the Hope Tournament on November 21st and 22nd, where they'll take on Hope and Franciscan over the weekend. Women's wrestling fell 38-11 to Aurora on Thursday afternoon in Aurora, Illinois. The Firebirds' wins came from Abigail Jadzonka on a fall after a minute 38 at 1:45, and Ella Harpold taking a 12-2 tech fall at 1:60. Firebirds' home opener is this Thursday as they take on North Central in Tarbell Arena, as scheduled for a 6 p.m. start. Men's wrestling also fell at Aurora on Thursday. That was a 24-17 loss to the Spartans. Firebirds scoring came from Chris Kish on a 9-5 decision at 1:33. Edgar Albino took a 13-10 decision at 1:49. Maxwell Schmidt 7-0 decision at 1:65. CJ Gilbert 1-0 decision at 1:74. And Elvis Muha a fall a minute and 18 seconds in at 1:97. Firebirds will also open the home schedule against North Central this Thursday at 7 p.m. in Tarbell Arena. Women's swim and dive hit the road this weekend as they took on Wheaton on Friday and Saturday. That was a 189.5 to 142.5 loss to the Thunder. Leading the way for the Firebirds, Kendall Lysico took home wins in the 1-meter dive with a 163.45 and the 3-meter dive at 180.05. Bree Skalski won the 1,000 freestyle in 11:11.22. Jill Kane won the 200 breaststroke in 2:37.62. Firebirds return to action on December 4th through 6th as they will host the Carthage Classic. Moving over to men's swim and dive, it was also a loss on the road to the Wheaton Thunder, falling 205 to 130. Leading the way for the Firebirds, Tayden Murphy brought home wins once again in the 1-meter dive at 227.1 and 3-meter dive at 252.35. AJ Landorf won the 200 individual medley in 201.57 and the 100 butterfly in 53.63. Tyson Polish won the 100 breaststroke in a minute .68 and the 200 breaststroke in 2:16.21. Once again, the men's swim and dive team, along with the women, will host the Carthage Classic on December 4th through December 6th. Finally, closing things out with men's basketball, it was a 79-60 win on the road at Alma on Saturday for an early morning matchup, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Ryan Johnson leading the way in his debut, 22 points, 13 rebounds. Riley Brooks, 17 points, 10 rebounds. Antoine Nesbitt, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 very impressive dunk. Visit the Carthage men's basketball Instagram or Twitter page to see that. And AJ Johnson finishing with 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. Firebirds will continue their road trip to start the season with the Great Lakes Invitational on November 21st and 22nd, where they'll take on Maryville College on the 21st and the University of Mary Washington on the 22nd. That's going to conclude things for this week's episode of the Fired Up Weekly Recap, where we cover all things Carthage Athletics. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms at Carthage Athletics. And thanks for watching. Tune in next time. We'll see you later.